Now, in regards to the holiday season, the Coachella Valley has some landmarks and traditions that are one of a kind. NBC Palm Springs' Steve Sumrall takes a look back at our Christmas past.
Oh, the tree, the lights, the tinsel. I don't have to tell you what it's beginning to look a lot like. Join me as we make our way across the Coachella Valley to examine holiday traditions out of our desert past. We begin right here in Cathedral City, where, for more than 30 years, this residential area known as Minerva Road transforms into this Yuletide wonderland called Candy Cane Lane.
I really like some of the houses down the street at the start. They're really cool. I really like their inflatables and all their roof lights. I really like the colored lights and stuff, like just the white lights and yellow lights and stuff. I really like how they have like candy canes on each one, because this is Candy Cane Lane, and everything's so cool how they just go all out.
Not only is Candy Cane Lane an enduring holiday tradition, it is also a source of civic pride.
I think this is a great tradition to have here. This neighborhood is like amazing to be able to do this every year. You know, the kids all you see kids walking around, you see the cars filled with families. It's great.
For our next holiday tradition, we're going to go to Palm Springs, Gran Via Belmonte specifically, where there is a house that has been turning heads since 1986.
Right here is some really well-lit palm trees right here that go up at about 80 feet each. So it's quite a sight to see when you're walking around them. This is a bicycle fence that I made.
And that fence, like everything else here, was made from recycled parts. And it was all brought to you courtesy of homeowner Kenny Irwin Jr.'s wild imagination.
It's Santa's barbecue dragon sleigh. So it's basically when you combine barbecuing with holidays and dragons.
The 8.4 million twinkling lights spread over 4 acres of land was called robo-lights due to the giant robot sculptures that surrounded the property.
I wanted to do something in the most positive way I humanly could, which was not just create a light display, but create an experience like no other.
Kenny's home attracted not just national, but worldwide attention.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Kenny Irwin Jr. Give it up for him.
So much so that in 2010, Conan O'Brien asked Kenny to design the holiday display for his show.
The giant Christmas chicken sandwich.
The Robo-Lights display came to an unfortunate end in 2018 after the attraction had received countless neighbor complaints about crowds and traffic. In 2019, Kenny would temporarily move his display to Detroit's Museum of Contemporary Art. For our next stop, the La Quinta Resort and Club, the kind of place you may think about whenever you hear a bell ring.
Look, Daddy, teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
That's right. That's a great film. I love that film. It's my favorite film. And in a sense, it epitomizes everything I've been trying to do and trying to say in the other films, only does it very dramatically with a very unique story.
That was director Frank Capra from a 1977 interview talking about It's a Wonderful Life, his 1946 fantasy, which tops the list of must-see holiday films.
Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas, George!
And it was written, believe it or not, at the La Quinta Resort and Club.
Merry Christmas, you wonderful old building alone!
So, why would one venture into the California desert to dream about a snowy town in upstate New York?
I think that his creativity could put him anywhere he needed to be at that moment. I think the reason he spent so much time in this room and wanted to continue staying in 136 was because he felt like it was a lucky charm for him. His first award-winning movie, It Happened One Night, that was his very first Academy Award-winning film, and it became a lucky charm for him. La Quinta became a lucky charm for him.
A toast to my big brother George, the richest man in town.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas.
It's been alleged that White Christmas, Irving Berlin's Yuletide classic made famous by the desert's own Bing Crosby, was also penned at the La Quinta Resort. If this is true, then this is truly a place for holiday miracles. Lastly, we're going to head to downtown Palm Springs because that's where the parade is, and who doesn't love a parade? was during the early 1990s when Palm Springs Mayor Will Kleindingst and a small group of community-minded individuals held a brainstorming session to find a unique way for the community to celebrate the holidays while simultaneously increase tourism. The idea which they put forward was the Festival of Lights Parade, a well-lit evening event which has inspired thousands of happy people to line Palm Canyon Drive for one night every December. As this parade enters its fourth decade, crowds will continue to cheer on the marching bands, festive balloons, and decorative floats. And on behalf of the NBC Palm Springs news team, it has been our pleasure to come out here every year and see you and your family, to thank you for your viewership, and to wish you all a safe and happy holiday season. For our Desert Past, Steve Sumrall, NBC Palm Springs News First.